Hello everybody, today I'm going to show you how to change out your air filter in a 2006 BMW 325i. The tools that you will need are going to be a 10mm socket wrench and a T25 screwdriver. To get started, you're going to use your socket wrench to loosen up these two screws over here on the right hand side of the engine compartment, and then you're going to take your T25 and you're going to do a couple of things. Down here, just beyond the housing of the air filter, there is a metal band down there that tightens on the flexible hose system to the housing piece of the air filter. So you're going to want to loosen that up, and my apologies, you will need a flathead screwdriver for that piece. And then the T25 is going to be for the loosening of this component here. So let's get started. This is an air mass flow sensor that ties in to the tubing here that connects directly to the housing assembly of your air filter. So we're just going to loosen this up here, and there's a little bar that runs through here. That's okay, just kind of work your way around that. Again, this is a T25. Alright, so I loosened up the right screw. Now we're going to go for the left one. You can see it.
Is there something wrong with your engine?
No, I'm just going to replace the air filter. Alright, you can see the screws coming out. Okay, again, I'm going to work it to the point where I feel like I can loosen it with my hands. Okay. And then I'm going to pull it out like that. There we go. There we go. Alright, now this thing just kind of wiggles loose. You're going to have to wiggle it, and then it'll pop out.
Yes.
And then it's going to lift out like that. All right, that's it. You can kind of let that sit. There's a long cable connected to it down here, so you're not going to lose it, but I would just kind of set it there like that. Okay, now we're going to go get our flathead screwdriver and loosen this metal band down here so we can remove the flexible hose from the housing of the air filter. Okay, now we're just going to loosen this screw up. By giving it a turn, you can see the metal band started to move there a little bit. There it goes, it's recessing down. Okay, we don't want to go too loose there because we want to keep that screw attached. And let's see, it's kind of moving around a little bit. Let's see if we can, might have to go a little more. Okay, let's go a little more. Alright, that should be good. Okay. Now sometimes I work this hose off as I remove the assembly of the air filter, which I think I'm going to do this time. So let's move on and replace these two, remove these two screws here using our socket wrench. Alright, same deal applies. I'm just going to loosen these up to the point where I can unscrew them with my hand. Okay. These are pretty easy. They loosen up very easily. Same for this one here. All right, don't lose the washers. All right, so I'm going to set these aside, and before we can take that off, we're going to take this flexible hose off as well from this piece, from the air filter assembly, or housing unit. So that's very easy to do. You can see there's a little tab here, and there's another one on the other side right there. I'm gonna take the flathead, I'm gonna work it in here a little bit and just kind of work it down. And boom. Oop, I didn't quite get that on, but that's gonna pop off nice and easy. And we're gonna do it on the other side here as well. Just kind of work it down like that, and boom, that just pops off very easily, okay? There. Now that we've got that loosened, we've got our screws removed over here. Just start to lift it up and work it out. There we go. Completely. And set it down on the ground. We're going to use our T25 screwdriver again to split the assembly in half so we can access the air filter inside and put a new one in. So just go around the perimeter, remove the screws, and then we can split it in half. All right, there were 6 screws total. I just removed them all, and we can just separate the piece just like this. And that's it. So here's our air filter. You simply just lift out the old one. And there might be some junk in here, you know, some leaves or some straw or something like that. You can just go ahead and empty that out. Maybe if you have some compressed air, blow it out. Shake it out, get it all out of there. All right, and then grab your new air filter and put it in. All right, once your new air filter is in, apply the other half to reassemble your housing unit. Put your screws back in, and then we'll put it back into the engine compartment. All right, when putting the screws back in, just hand tighten them. No need to go too tight. It'll be fine. Up to the point where it kind of stops turning on its own. Enough. All right, once you got all 6 screws back in, then we can prepare to start putting it back inside the engine compartment. So before we do that, we'll take a look on the inside. Kind of get a better look at that hose. The flexible hoses on both sides can kind of give you an idea of how to reattach everything. All right, so let's put it back in. Just gonna kind of set it in there like it was. Maybe angle it down a little bit to get things ready to attach. I'm gonna attach this hose first down here, and then I'm gonna put everything else back in. Okay, so I reattached the hose down here, and I always like to take my hand and go underneath and feel that rubber hose to make sure that it's around the bottom side of it as well. And here I can tell that it is. So we're gonna be good on this part here, and we're gonna go ahead and tighten it up, and then we'll put everything else back together. Okay. We're gonna turn it, and we should see that metal band starting to tighten back up. You're just going to hand tighten this once again. You don't want to go too tight. Okay. There we go. Just hand tighten it. Okay. All right. Now that's done. Let's put everything back in. Let's reattach this piece here. This is just going to go right back over the front of it and snap it in onto the tabs. Just fit it right on over. You might need 2 hands for this. You are going to need 2 hands for that. So I got this side in first. For me, it's going to work. I latch that side, and then I'm gonna come over on this side and I'm gonna push it in place like that. Make sure it fits nice and snug on there. Double check those tabs, make sure underneath is good. And voila. Okay. All right. Let's take our airflow sensor and plug that back in down here. That's just gonna go back in the way you took it out. I have to give it a little push in there so that it fits in snugly. There we go. Okay, we're gonna grab the 2 screws and put those back in. All right, so that's it. We reattached the screws, tightened everything back up, reattached everything over here on this side. And now we're gonna take our bolts and put them right back in here. And tighten them a bit. Use our socket wrench to button it back up, and then we're done. So that's it. Pretty easy to replace the air filter in a BMW as well. No reason to pay the dealer to do it for you. Order your parts from Amazon. At least that's what I do. Ship right to your door, and then you can be in your garage replacing it in about 10 minutes. So I hope you learned something today, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.